Good evening, everyone. Are you guys are able to listen me? Okay, great. Okay, great. So, welcome to this small little session on CISM introduction. And we MRGT are actually aimed at providing quality trainings to our all of the students. And this session will be for the uh, uh, yeah, are you guys are able to see my slides? Please respond back on the chat.
Yes, sir, we can see your slides.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay, so is everybody able to understand Urdu, or should I start with English, or what? Like Akash, Matthew, are you able to understand Urdu, or should I continue with English? Yes, Matthew, you want to say something, Matthew? Okay, yep. I will assume that that everybody can understand English actually. So I don't know if you guys understand Urdu or what, but I'm just trying to continue with English. So welcome to this small little session. I'm gonna continue back on to the next slide. So about the instructor, my name is Haris Khan, and I have over 12 years of IT industry experience, which is dispersed around various set of fields. I initially started as a small little security engineer back in 2010, and main responsibilities were uh, configuration of small little firewalls and switches. And then I've moved on to network security role, and then I rolled on into uh, Linux field. So kind of like I used to be a Linux system engineer back in 2010. So kind of this is kind of why like I have worked in systems and networks department, and then I switched to core security in 2016. I have been working in this field for like it has been like 4+ years. I'm working in core security field, mostly security operations, and presently I am actually responsible for uh, blue team management, kind of like a SOC lead guy. So I've been involved in making use cases and implementation of SOC-based solutions. About the training, I have been conducting trainings for like 1.5 years. I have been training for CISM, CISSP for last like 1.5 year. I have 3 or 4 batches already been delivered, and this is my second batch for CISM. And apart from my CISP, which is not out of the scope, about my certification, you can already see on the window on the screen. Sorry, I have a couple of certifications in the industry. Uh, well, the most of them, which are actually the one which is most prestigious, is the CISP, which is kind of like more towards a security field, which covers like all of the domains of security, and particularly CISM, which is dispersed all over the CISP field. So I will actually cover this up as well. What are the comparisons of CISM and CISP, and should we pursue for the CISM or CISP? Well, it's all on you as well, but it depends if your budget allows, or if your employer is actually supporting that. It all depends. So, well, this is something that's about me, and let's roll on to something else about CISM. CISM, as you guys know, uh, it's a certification administered by SACA itself, a US-based organization, non-profit organization. Well, does somebody has a question? Anybody have a question? Okay. Well, let me check. Somebody has question. Okay, I'll move on. Well, it's a certification which is administered and managed by ISACA itself. About the certification, Certified Information Security Manager. It's a pure management related certification which covers uh, most of the stuff related to strategy, governance, incident management, risk management, and information security program development and management. If we talk about the exam, it's more of a conceptual related exam which covers which tries to challenge you on the practical activities that are supposed to be performed by information security manager while in the field. So it's not just definitions that a candidate has to just cover. It's just beyond that. It covers practices that are related to the information security management. What what's actually required to get a CISM designation? There are a couple of things that you need for that. Obviously, you need to pass the exam first. That's the first thing. That's the first step that you have to go with. And then after that, there are a couple of activities. I will be covering that in the preceding slides. What else you need to do to go on with the CISM certification? But on the nitty-gritty details, a small little things that I'm just covering up on the slide is that you have to agree with the code of ethics, professional ethics of ISACA. You have to comply with the continuation education of CISM as per their policies. No, no, no. It's not like that. It depends. If the audience are, if even a single guy who cannot understand Urdu, we will be switching to English. It's not about the language right now, but it's just trying to say that if somebody can understand a common language, then we can switch to a default one, which is actually the one which is mostly used in our country. That's why I'm just trying to say that well, if somebody can understand Urdu, then we can just switch to that. It's not about that. We will be traveling two batches, one with Urdu and one in English. So we will definitely cover up with the audience if they can understand the common language. We can go with that. Mr. Amar, I guess I answered your question. Okay, we move on with the the thing is that you have to pass the exam. Then after that, you will have to adhere to or comply with the ISACA Code of Professional Ethics. That will be shown on to you while you will be taking the exam in the examination center, and then afterwards you will have to comply with their CPE policies, and you have to submit an application to to give an evidence that you have a relevant 5 years of experience in information security management, right? So don't be scared for that. There are some ways you can just manage to to give evidence for your 5 years of experience. And one of them that ISACA supports is that you can submit the waivers. So you can just submit the waivers of certifications or the education that you have taken. Some of them I can mention right now over here is that if you have done the CISSP exam, you can easily waiver for 2 years of out of 5 years certification experience requirement for the CISM exam. The 2 years uh, get deducted if you have uh, a CIS exam already cleared with you. So you just have to justify your 3 years of experience with CISM. And the second would be that one another example could be that if you have an MBA degree, you have a 1 year waiver. If you have a CISA degree, CISA certification clearance, so you have 2 years waivers again. And if after the if after you have justified that you have done a relevant education that covers up the waivers, then you can just come up with a residual experience to be covered up with the three domains at least of your CISM exam. Like if you have, yeah, there are like four. Let me tell you, there are four domains in the CISM exam. So the experience says that if you have at least 5 years of experience in at least three domains of a CISM exam. So you can easily cater for that, and you are eligible to get the CISM certification. There is a question from Ashraf Jahangir. Without explaining benefits, advantages, and need to of this certification, you are directly focused on exam code strange. Uh, well, about the advantages, let me, if you want me to tell the advantages of a CISM exam, well, there are multiple motivations for going for the exam. The first thing is that if you are trying to move to a management position, or you are trying to target a management position, you should definitely have some knowledge about the information security management. This is the first thing that you have to think about. Like, if you want to target a management position in future in the next 3 years of your career, you should definitely touch this certification, because it will give you a baseline knowledge that is really mandatory for someone who wants to be in a higher security management position, because it gives you a very broad picture about how the security works in the organization, like how the governance is being performed, how you define a strategy and how you execute the strategy, how you make an information security program that is well aligned with your organizational business goals. So if you have been placed at some place and you have been enforced to be responsible for making a information security program in the organization, you definitely need to know something about it, right? You cannot start over from something from the blank, right? So this is something that can really help you uh, speed up and accelerate on going on to making a good information security management program. And apart from that, if you go on to go on to the career sites, if you want to know what are the opportunities that are available for a guy or a person who has a system certification, well, let me tell you that if you try on to search on LinkedIn right now, the second most available jobs for the candidates are for the CISM after CISSP. So there are, like, every day you can find it, like 300, 500 plus jobs advertised in your region, and all of them requiring the system certification. So this is something that's really demanding in the industry right now. This is something that you should really target. Like, if you're really going into the management position, or if you're trying to hunt a job that really requires a CISM certification, that's some these are some motivations that you should check on to go for the CISM exam. I guess, Mr. Rafiq, I guess I have answered your question. uh, can we appear the exam before our 5 year experience and then get the relevant experience? Yes, sure, you can do that. Well, ISACA permits us to do that in a way that they give us a 10 years of window after taking the exam to register or apply for the certification. Like if you have taken the exam and then and you do not have a previous experience of say, for example, information security management, or even if you don't have any relevant certifications that can waiver off some years of experience from the 5 years experience requirement. So you can just wait for that for like 10 years. In 10 years time, the Ithaca gives you 10 years time to gain that information security experience, or maybe you can just do other certifications to waiver off some of the years from the 5 years requirement of experience, and then you can just submit the application. If you have done that, if you have relevant certification that can waiver off something, or if you have relevant experience in three of the four domains of CISM, you can just submit that, and you and there you go. You're on your way to just get your successful CISM certification. So that's how you can just go with it. So moving on with the waivers, I think I have discussed the things that are required for the waivers. And if you need more details, you can definitely check isaka.com slash CISM uh, uh, waivers, and you can definitely check on like what are the nitty-gritty small little certifications that you can just cover up with your 5 years experience program. And really, guys, I want to let you know that it's not that big deal. And everybody has some kind of experience in one of the three domains, one of the three of the four domains that are covered in CISM domain, CISM discipline. So I think nobody has to worry about that. It's not that big deal. Okay, now coming up with the exam cost. How much does it cost? Uh, let me explain with how much it costs, right? So I have made a table and I will explain each and every kind of cost involved in taking this exam, right? So this is all taken from the ISACA website and some of my personal research I have done. So you can easily, yeah, maybe there is, yeah, MR has shared some kind of link. Yeah, this link is where you can just go with it and check out what specifically for. But let me just explain this table to you, like what's required, how much finances you really need to manage to take this certification exam. So there are actually two ways to go for the for the registration, the member way and the non-member way. Uh, First of all, I will explain the differences between two, and then I will tell you which one to go for as a suggestion, as a recommendation. If you want to go with my suggestion, well, I will tell you the advantages and disadvantages of both. From the financial perspective, and also from the maintenance and maintenance and further pursuing the education perspective. So the first thing is, if you check on with the exam cost for the non-member, it's $760 for the member, non-member, and for the member it's 575. Obviously, it's a small value. Moving on forward with application processing fee. Once you have taken the exam and you successfully passed that, so then you will have to submit an application processing fee. Both guys will have, like member or non-member guy, both will have to submit this amount, and both guys will have to will be doing the application processing. So this is a $50 amount, and the application processing is actually you will mention what domains you have covered in your experience out of the four domains of the system. What are the waivers that you have, and then after that you will just will attach your relevant documentation for providing the evidence of relevant certification or experience that you have. So this is the application process for that. So you have to just submit the $5, and with the application, this is the non-refundable amount, and so this is something that you will be sure about if you have relevant experience to go for that. So next we will go on to the members. So if you have membership, so obviously it's not counting in the non-member section. You will be in the member section. So in the member section, it's actually $135 and one-time fee, followed by the $10 amount for the new member registration fees, and after that it's $550 local member charges in case of Pakistan. It's a local chapter charges actually. Local chapter charges are something that's related to the region, right? When you're trying to fill up the application for for the membership, it says to you which region you are right now located, and it will try to fill up automatically if you try to tell up like you are in the Indian region, or you are in the US region, or you are in the Middle East region, in which country you are located. You will have to check this up in the form, and you fill this up, and you will try to tell them what is this is the region I'm trying to apply it from. So this all comes up to be like these charges are properly, which I hope calculated, these are for the Pakistan region. So for Pakistan region, I'll mention the $50 local chapter charges. So the total make up about 135 plus 10 plus 50. This is something that is involved in the membership. So this is something that's counted on the member side, and not on obviously on the non-member side. So we go on with the annual fees. This is the maintenance fees for your certification. Uh, Let me tell you this: these organizations who are actually like the big organizations who are trying to pitch out some security certification like SICA, IT Square. These guys actually kind of like charge you for the maintaining certification, and there are some requirements you have to fill up to come up, and you have to comply with to to stay up to date and to review or to maintain your credentials with these organizations. So what they do is that, well, they tell you that, well, if you want to maintain or you renew your certification, you need to pay something to us. So apart from the payment, there are some other requirements that you have to fulfill. One of them is that you have to maintain good security roadmap. Like you have to keep learning on new security technologies. So this is something that they want from you guys, from us, to keep on learning the new and ever growing new emerging security technologies. So they just tell us to maintain that through the learning process. So they call them the CPEs. CPEs are the hours of education that you have done in some period of time. So this is something that will be coming up in the upcoming slides, but let me actually give you a small definition of that. I will already given you an idea on that, like what is that. But it's something that we have to maintain, right? So this is like,
I would like to explain this thing. Actually, the annual fee or something which we have to pay after this certification. And actually, I would like to tell who am I, by the way. This is Naveedullah Khan Yusufzai, head of sales operations. So we handle these mechanism actually. So these annual fees actually means that like whenever you need some support from ISACA, so ISACA will give like will take these charges for giving you supports in different mechanism, any kind of supports you need with your industrial things as well. So if you are unemployed and you're going to take the certification, you're gonna pay by your own. But after you get certified and you get hired, your companies pays these charges actually.
yeah, thank you for explaining that. Well, what it's right. This is something that is added something to my answers. Apart from that, well, the membership has other advantages. I haven't just come to that point yet. Now, what are the advantages of going for the membership, right? But thank you
Yeah,
so much.
yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Yes.
But I'm just trying to explain the difference between going for the member non-member right now. I know what are the charges right now. So, well, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
No,
So,
welcome, welcome.
uh, yeah. So going on with the annual fees is the maintenance fees, right? That's what I was trying to explain. That this is something that you have to maintain your credentials. You have to pay something to ISAPA, and this is $85 for the non-member, and again for the member it's $45. So well, there is a difference, right? So again, we can just have a small little decision on where we should choose from, or a membership path or a non-membership path. So again, we have chapter charges. The chapter charges are $50. For the member, you will have to pay, and for the non-member, it's covered in row number three membership charges. Right, the local, the word, the $50 that I mentioned, with the followed by a word local over there. So this is something that I have already mentioned there. So it's already covered in the member side. So the chapter charges are over there. So well, this is something that's counted, and then after that we have the total amount. So this is something that's like how much will be charged once you have taken the exam and you have submitted your application and you have been approved for, like, you have relevant experience, and so you have done that thing. So it will charge like 945 your non-member, and if you go the member path, it will cost you like $865. So I guess this kind of like makes you like that you can better decide like which path to go right now. But there are other things to decide upon from the cost. So there are benefits moving on with the membership path. But from like there are like that there are multiple guys outside the field. Some guys want to. Some guys have already in the security field, and they have like uh, they have their like own way of continuing their education, something like that. So the membership, what is the benefit of going for the membership? Well, if you go for the membership, they will give you some resources that could be beneficial for you for continuing your education or gaining your CPEs. This is something that's the main that's one of the main benefit of going for the membership, right? Apart from the more small little benefits that came on and on with the during the years are that sometimes you will get some kind of offs on some books, or maybe you might have some off on the upcoming exam or new or existing exams. Like say for example, if you have taken or you have passed the CISM exam and now want to go for the CESA or CIRES or CGATE exam, so definitely you will have the opportunity. Are you since you are already a member, so there is always a difference for the members to take the additional exams with the discounted prices. So this is something that's also being considered on the membership side. And again, if you go on to the renewal side, like if something that you have to like the renewal charge that you have to pay, in that case, for the next year you will definitely pay $85 for the non-members, and for the member side you will pay $45. So, well, it's kind of beneficial if you go for the membership, but it's kind of like if it depends. Like if you're already a security guy, you already been learning things, you have been doing training, or maybe you have already been doing certifications, or you have some security work. So you definitely will choose the non-member side, right? But on the membership side, if you say that, well, one thing that Isaka is very much curious about, that they need evidence of the CPE in the form of certificate. So that's something that we really care about. So the easy way to prove or to provide evidence is that you go on with with their CPEs, their membership path, and they just follow on with the hours of training or hours of courses or webinars. They recommend you just do that, and at end of these courses you get some kind of certification or a completion certificate, and you can just present this to Visaka to get your renewal. Like how much hours you want to be, like how many hours you have just done the webinar thing, or you have listened to the webinar or something like that. So the question is how much CPEs we need, like how much CPEs we need that. So it's really common that you need 120 CPEs to maintain your certification, apart from paying the certification exam maintenance fee. No, no. Ashraf, CISA is not a prerequisite for the CISM, right? CISM is one of the paths that people can take to to go on with a different track, right? About the CISM and CISA, they are kind of like peer brothers or something like that. You can say there is a 50% overlap of the content between CISA and CISM. Right? So if you have done CISM, you can easily pursue for CISA because you already done like at least 50% of the stuff in CISM itself. So, it's it's kind of like same to something, but they have different approaches. Like CISM is focused on the governance and information security program management and development and incident handling type of field. But the CISA is kind of like it's a separate domain which covers up the auditing side of the organization. We will cover up a very small little nitty-gritty parts of auditing in the CISM part, but we will not go deep inside the techniques and the tools that are required to do the auditing. But it actually pretty much cover out how to audit an organization for a set of processes, regulations, laws, or the internal organizational policies that organization has established for running the organization. This is something that's all involved with CISM. But the CISM is something that is it's about maintaining, it's about creating, maintaining an information security program. What are the requirements that you can go along to build an information security program, which all just starts up with the information security governance. part, one of the domains of CISM. I believe I have answered the question. Well, going on. So next year, so we have in the next year you will have to pay like after every year, and the yearly recurring up value will be about like $55 for a non-member and $45 for a member. So one of the uh, disadvantages. Now I'm going to tell you about the disadvantage of moving towards the membership. The advantage was that you can really just have a bunch of CPEs that you can cover up with the membership part. You have certificate. You can easily provide the evidence. You can count on the discounts that you will get on the certifications pursuing with the ISACA. And the downside now. The downside for the membership part is that if you go on with the CISM exam and you go on with the with the membership track, right? So annually for each ISACA certification, you will have to separately pay $45 amount for each certification, right? So this is something like if you have like CISA, you have to pay 45 one, and then you have CISM, you have to pay 45.2, and then you have series, you have to pay 45.3, something like that. So it keeps on adding, right? So this is something that you have to consider, right? So the path some people take, it's all on like need on choices, right? So I have given you choices which path you can choose. Okay, how about the exam? Well, if you talk about how difficult is the exam or how easy is the exam, obviously it all will depend upon your skills and your preparation. But on in a general view, if we talk about how difficult it is, right, like it's compared to other exams of ISACA, so definitely it's pretty much easier than the CISA exam, which covers up more technicalities of the auditing parts. So if you know the management, security management, if you know the information security program development to some extent, if you know governance, and so you definitely have some edge on it, right? There are 150 total questions. All of them are MCQ. There are 4 hours that are permitted to take this exam, and obviously it's a really huge amount of time. 150 questions in a 4 hours time, you definitely will have time to review the questions. I would not recommend that, but you have lot of time for that, right? If you have answered some question, I would really recommend to go move forward and just go on with that, because it will definitely give you a double mind when you go back to the question, and will definitely change your selected choice, right? So it all depends, but this is something that I will recommend that. Is there any negative marking? No, there's no negative marking. There's no negative marking. Okay. So exam scoring. Talking about exam scoring, it's scored on a scale of 200 to 800 scale, and the minimum passing score for that is 450 or above. Right? It's really pretty much easy. That it's like 55 to 60% that you have to score on a 100% um, number scale. So it's kind of like achievable. About the experience, like the people who have taken the exam, like how much guys just passed this exam, how much guys failed that. So it's been observed by like many people, like not just me. It's just a research or something like a kind of a common discussion that people have just done that. People say that like maybe every 100 guys, 50% guys, 50% people just pass this exam, and this is like it's that much like time is that much like you can say the easy or difficult that you can consider for that. What about certification renewal? Well, that's what I mentioned in the previous slide. Ashraf, let me explain that again. Wait, let me check if I can uh, if I have a slide for that. Yeah, this is something that I will cover up over here, but I have covered the costing amount over here, Jangir. So you can just review that. Like for the renewal, you will have to pay either a $85 amount plus you have to complete 120 CPEs, or you can go on with the membership path, paying $45 and completing 120 CPEs over the 3 years of certification cycle. Okay. I guess I made myself clear on that, so I guess there is no question on that. It's pretty simple slide. Well, going on with the what will happen if you pass the exam, something I already mentioned on previous slides, the costing slide. But there's something that I already mentioned, that you will have to cover up 120 CPEs for 3 years reporting cycle period. You will have to do that. It's mandatory for maintenance of the certification. Okay, then you will have to pay the maintenance fee, the $45, $85. Already cleared that on the costing slide, and you have to comply with the CP audit. The CP audit is something that's like, if you have submitted some experience or you have submitted your CPE to ISACA for the renewal of your certification, there is a random audit that is conducted by ISACA, and that actually covers up like if somebody has been sampled out for the audit of their CPEs, so they will have to just provide the relevant evidence in case ISACA demands for that. Okay, recommended material for the certification. Ashraf, what I haven't covered is that, well, if you fail to like comply with the requirement of certification maintenance of ISACA, in that case, you will have to retake the exam. So, what are the requirements? I told you, if you fail to uh, submit the annual maintenance fees, plus if you fail to fulfill the CPE requirements for a 3 years period of time, your certification will expire, and you will definitely will need to retake the same exam here again. So in case of Cisco or Microsoft, you have like you always have to retake the exam, right? They don't have any certification continuation program. But in case of ISACA, they like there are organizations, they have different kind of ways of pitching their certifications. So they do have features of continuing their certification. So one of the good benefits that most organizations provide is that, well, they give their exam takers an option that if you want to continue the same certification, you can pay us some maintenance fee and you don't need to retake the exam again. I believe the answer is clear. Okay, so about the required material. Okay, moving on with the required material that's really necessary to take this exam. The first is that you need to go the two recommended books that I would really would like to like I would really would endorse you guys to just go with it is one of them is a CISM all-in-one, and the second is the review manual itself. I will talk both about I will talk and give you the reviews of both of the books, like how they are designed and which one I do recommend, and which one is necessary, and what if somebody wants to just go with one of the two books. The first book is the CISM all-in-one, and the second one is the exam review manual. Well, there are a lot of books on the market, but this is something that's a must-do list. Like they are really required for the exam. Right? Many people have passed the exam by just reading the CISM all-in-one guide, and many people have also used the CISM review manual for taking the exam. Right? So it's not about that you really have to go with the exam review manual. It's not about that. So it's all about choice. It's all about understanding. It's all about how much time you have. It's all about how much time you can spend on it. These are the parameters that you consider while choosing the book. About the understandability, I would say I would really recommend the CISM all-in-one is really good on that. It really gives you a very humanly understandability in understanding a particular topic or a particular section. It tries to explain you with the small little non-technical examples, and it takes you to some kind of a non-technical environment and tries to explain you the security concept that you really need for a particular topic. This is the good thing about the system. System all in one, right? It's 541 pages total in size. So if you aim to study like 40 pages a day, you can definitely check out like how much days you will need to really complete this book in a go in the first time in the first go. So it's like maybe let me check if you have 50 pages. So maybe you can go with I believe maybe 10 days or 5 10. Yeah, maybe where 10 days time you will be able to complete this book. If I talk about the completion time, how much time is required to prepare for the CISM exam? It uh, well, it all depends on your time as well, but on average, if you take like if you give it like 2 hours per day or minimum 1 hours, depends. It would take like 1.5 months. uh, I believe it's enough time to prepare for this exam and take that exam, because it's first thing that it's the passing rate or passing threshold is quite well understandable, right? We know that it's quite enough that you can just cross that. The second thing is the book size. The book size is that much, not that much large. And the third thing is the practice questions. You will find bundle of different questions on the internet right now. It's well, you will find all over the internet right now. Not that big deal that you will not be able to find anything on the internet. Many people just post their questions in the form of PDF. You have Android applications available free of cost. They have a lot of questions available already over there. So about which questions I do recommend, I would definitely go for recommending the Isaka practice tests. They are already very good material for that. They have had their own practice tests available with their own review manual. uh, and This is something I think that's enough. If you have gone through their practice test questions, they are enough for taking the exam, because they definitely just puts you in the mindset of a real exam there, and they can challenge you on the same pattern of questions that you will see in the actual exam. So that's why it's really recommended for the preparation. And let's move on with the second recommendation. The second recommendation is on the review manual. It's 292 pages. I believe it's not written, I guess, over here. Yeah, it's written over there. It's 292 pages, and don't be fooled with that. They are 292 pages. They are split into two columns. The writing is split into two columns in the book, so you definitely will consider this to be like 600 pages, right? So it's what's the difference between all-in-one and CISM? The CISM um, um, uh, writing style is definitely something that you should really explore, because this is something that you will see in the exam. This is the concept, this is the terminology, the scenarios, and the wording. This is something that you will see in the exam. So it's a must as well. So if you don't want to go with the system because it's so dry, most people say that well it's really hard to understand how to read this book. There is a technique, definitely, guys. If you know that technique to how to read this book is really helpful. Like you will definitely pass the exam. You will definitely understand a lot of stuff about system if you know how to read the book. It's not like just going on with the page number one and start reading on everything. It's about a plan. The plan is on the page number two or three, how to read the book, right? So if you go on with checking on how to read the book first, then you just start with your study plan with the CISM review manual. You will definitely get really big difference and compared to if you just go on along with the reading each and every page in a row. So it definitely makes a difference. So there's a plan, right? The plan is on page number two or three. You have to just go with that, and you will check out how the page, how the goals, how the tasks, how the knowledge areas are being laid out. This is something that we should really know about before just starting the review manual. This is the plus side, and this is the way how we go along with the review manual side of the preparation. These are the two ways, and after that, you can choose either all-in-one or CISM. I have read both the books, and I've seen, what I have seen is that if I had not read the all-in-one CISM guide, I wouldn't have understood that much great detail about the CISM review manual. So, but the thing is, honestly speaking, I went through the CISM review manual first, and I checked out. Well, it I didn't understand much about things. I just turned on to all-in-one guide, and when I just moved on with the all-in-one guide, I saw that, well, the things that they try to explain to you, they are in quite simple, human understandable words. So you can easily just grab on. You cannot just stress out your brain on things if you are going along with the all-in-one examination guide. So what I would recommend, the path would be that if you have good maturity level with security management, and you definitely understand a lot of big fat terms about the security management, you should go with the CISM review manual. Obviously, if you don't have much time, you can just review this must. It's a must, right? It's definitely a must for every guy. But you cannot just skip it, right? So if you have like less time, and if you have little bit understanding, so you can just first go along with the CISM review manual, and that's it. You can just go along with the practice test this path, and then down this path you can just take the exam after taking some practice tests. About the guys who do not understand much about security management, or they just don't have much idea, the starter would be the best recommendation is go along with the all-in-one exam guide first, and then you can come back to CISM to review something on it. Guys, you will really find big difference after following up with this path, because this path really gives you a very deep insight concept that you have ever taken on, when you just see that, well, you have just started up with a CISM review manual, and that you just are done with that. So this part actually going along like from all-in-one exam guide first, and then going after that for the review manual, you will definitely feel a very big difference. So these are the two parts, and on like how much uh, exam score, like practice test score, is required to develop an assurance that you're ready for that exam. Well, if you move along and you check out various forums, and maybe you ask our other guys, they will definitely say you that, well, if you are scoring like 80% on your test, on your practice test, you are ready. You're definitely ready for that. Some places you will say that, see the people who are saying that, well, if you are like 70% scoring, or you are like 80%, 70 to 80% score, you're definitely ready. Well, it's something that that's the recommendation, but if you are scoring between 60 to 70%, you will get passing marks. That's for sure, right? But the thing is, if you are scoring even within the 60 to 70% range, the thing that you will have to follow is that you have to check out what 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 directed you to choose the wrong answer. This is something that you have. This is a habit that you have to develop with the exam. You have to check, go back, check, and verify why you chose the answer you chose and it was wrong. This is the way that you have to do every time. Like if you are going along with the 70 or 80% threshold target score, or if you are targeting for the 60 or 70%, but it's must for someone who are actually targeting, like who are actually scoring between 60 to 70% the practice test. They should really it's must for those guys to just go back and check out why they chose the wrong answer, and they have to just learn the reason, not to memorize the answer. This is the key. Remember, on slide number 2, I mentioned it's not the vocabulary exam, it's not the definitions exam, it's about the concepts, it's about the practical activities that you do in security management. So if you know the concepts, if you know what was the key, what was the thing that made you choose the wrong answer, and you fix it over there, so you definitely know the answer, you don't have to memorize that. So this is something, this is the key to prepare for this exam. Okay, so about the contents, about the domains, there are total of 4 domains, uh, as I already have been telling you during the course of my slides. The information security governance field. This domain is all about how do we create an information security strategy. What's the strategy, and how does the strategy comes from? How do we make it? And it all actually starts with the organization's business. So which is actually like which is governed by the mission of the organization. What's the mission? Obviously, the mission of the organization is to earn more and more money or make a quality product to become a better competitor in the market. Well, this is something every organization has their own motivations, but this is something that can give you the objectives and goals, and that's actually something that makes up your organizational strategy. So on the basis of that strategy, actually, you try to drive on to make the organizational policies, procedures, guidelines, and other stuff. So this is something that will be covered in information security governance. The strategy, we do gap analysis, we do we, uh, we drive we make up the roadmap, and to do that we need multiple resources, right? And we can use these multiple resources to make the strategy to achieve our goals, to achieve our mission. So this is something that we cover in information security governance domain, which is 24% of the overall 100% of the exam. And after that, if we move on, the second episode would be about the information security risk management, which tells us about, well, we have some assets in the organization, and we have some regulations that we have to comply with, and we have some laws, we have some policies, and so we have to care about, like, are we really compliant with the laws and regulations and policies that are being enforced upon us by by the laws of the country, or maybe the laws of the industry? Are we really compliant with that, or is there any gap, or could that be possible that maybe we could be just diverting from our goals, and there is a probability that maybe we just go out of compliance? How do we just measure that? How do we detect that? So we do some risk management. We check out if there is a risk that we move out of the track of compliance. And we have assets. So we have the tangible assets, we have intangible assets. So we have data. So we have to protect that data. So what are the risks? What are the threats that organization is facing along, or what are the threats that are confronted by these assets? So how do we do about it? How do we do something about it? How do we protect these assets? We do risk management for that. And this risk management step is the whole big process that is really really involved in every step of security management. We do we what so what's involved in the risk management? We do the identification of our our crown jewels, our most precious assets, and then we evaluate them, we classify them, and then we check out what are the risks that are involved with this, with which are involved with this asset. And then we try to make a strategy, or we try to make a scope, we try to make a risk treatment plan for that, like how to, what are the controls we need, what are the ways we go along to mitigate those risks that we have identified in our risk management process. So this is something that will be covered in the information security risk management domain, the largest part of the uh, CISM course, the 30% of overall CISM uh, course. So next we will be talking on the third episode. We'll be talking about information security program management and development. This is the kind of, like, you can say, the part two of the episode one, which is information security governance. In terms of that, well, in the information security governance, i.e., the episode one, in which we just made the information security strategy. So now, which was a part of the governance. So in the second episode, which is actually chapter number 3, right? Information security program development and management. We will continue on afterwards from the information security strategy, that is information security program development. So information security program is developed to implement the information security strategy of the organization. So what we need for the information security program, uh, what are the factors? What are the things that we have to consider? What are the external and internal resources that are required? What are the constraints that can stop us from implementing or maintaining the information security program? So these are something. This is something that we will covering in the information security program development and management. And after that, once everything is over there at place, we will have to check out if there are some incidents that would happen in the organization. Will they impact our precious resources, our crown jewels, our assets? So if they really impact our assets, how to protect them from the losses? We definitely have some incident management program, incident handling program. This is something that we will be covering in the information security incident handling program. So this is a small little summary that I have told you about what will be covered in the this core CISM section, CISM course, training course. And about the class schedule, the class will be run every Sunday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Again, it's dependent if the audience are ready on that. It will be a 4 hours time, 4 hours duration every week, and probably there will be a one or two breaks depending upon the the, the, the like the time sequence, how it goes along during the winter period of time. So I think, guys, that's it, and this is from my side, and I really would like to thank you for your participation in this small little session. And guys, if you have any questions, please do just throw on. I will try to answer this question. Yeah, I'm ready for that.
If anybody have any questions, they may ask us. We will be with you. I will be pleased to answer your questions. Do anybody have any questions, please? Actually, we're really pleased to offer these trainings and the certification. As you have seen, like the examination and the certification prices, and you may know all the mechanism which you have seen. Actually, we are offering the trainings for international students for $150, and for Pakistani for 25 rupees only. And the $945 exams will be given to you people only in $800. Excuse me for my cough. We have shared our details within the chat box. You can check it out. And we're gonna share it again here. The people who are interested in the certification and trainings may contact us at our emails, our phones, or our WhatsApp and landlines. There are two email has been mentioned, like Naveed at mrglobaltech.com and Wakas at mrglobaltech.com. So anyone from the participants have any queries about it? Because are you there? Like, do we have anything to add up? Hello, Vikas. Harsh bhai, do we have anything else to deliver actually?
Well, if you guys are confident with the session and they don't have any questions, well, I think that's it for now. And
Like,
if you guys have
I
any
think I
questions,
think you have explained it really well.
yeah,
I think you have
thanks for that.
explained it really well. So they actually they are not left with any query. I think.
Maybe
So
possible.
you have any questions? I
Well,
mess information security. Does that count my security related experience?
in MS. Well,
Mm,
Arslan, if I tell you, what are the really requirements for the viewers of the experience, it would not. I believe it would cover as in education hours, right? It would not come up under under the degree viewer program because they have mentioned if you have a degree in MBA or if you have certification for CISA or your certification for CIS, so you will definitely get a waiver for that. But there will be some certain bunch of hours that you will get a waiver for, and these hours would be better. Like if you mention the application, they will definitely tell you about that. Well, how many hours you can discover for that. But I would definitely this is something that I'm answering you on the basis of the application you are filling form. That's the thing.
Muhammad Mahdi is we cannot hear you. Can you make your mic more closer?
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
My name is Muhammad Mahdi. I'm from Nigeria.
Okay. There is some
Yeah.
sound behind you of, I think it is TV. Can you mute it down before asking the question?
No, I didn't have any question, but I really appreciate for the wonderful presentation.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your appreciation.
You're welcome.
Okay, Aslan, I
Okay.
believe I answered
Like,
your question. If you have any questions, please let me
and
know
we,
then.
we have other mechanisms as well to meet it up actually. Like if you have a good certifications and you have good recommendations from different organizations, it would be enough, I think, as well. So like this experience counted by your physical skills after your educations. So if you want to go for the certification directly, you need some recommendations as well as a good certification lines as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You are more than welcome. We really appreciate when we get these kind of comments. If there are any question, like we are here only for next 2 to 3 minutes only. Like if you want to ask a question, you can put on your mic as well. You can write to us in the chat box as well. You're welcome, Mahdi. Abdul Aziz, thank you very much to you for being with us in this session. So thank you very much, everyone. I think there's no more queries now. Thank you, Haris bhai. Thank you very much for being with us, and everybody from the participants. Thank you very much for being with us in this session, and we will be expecting you in the next class as well, which will be most probably started by the next week, inshallah. And Mamadi, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. So we would like to. Okay, thank you. Goodbye, Allah Hafiz, to everyone who've been with us. Thank you very much for joining us.
Okay, bye bye. Thank you, everyone.
The certification is so the certificate will be given to the people who will complete this training. So this session doesn't need any certificate. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Vakas, are you there?